please welcome to the stage Vanessa Lee.
I made it! We made it! Yes. For those of you wondering, that was definitely Toby driving. I definitely lasted 8 rounds, and I definitely puked right after. I'm just glad I didn't puke in Toby's new helmet. Welcome to the second Editions.dev, everyone. Woo! All right, come on. Where else do you get to start the day with a video of the CEO of Shopify terrifying one of his employees? This is not a normal developer conference. This is our open house with all of you. And we're so excited for all of you to be here today. Thank you for coming from 52 countries around the world. Now, this seems like a really big room, but to be honest, it's quite an intimate affair. We want to make sure that we are here with you today to help build the future of commerce for our merchants. And we're going to start by looking at a little thing that we shipped last week. We shipped our 7th edition. 7 editions, guys. I feel like it was just yesterday that we shipped our first. And our 7th edition was all about horizons. Horizon, not only in the term of our theme, but also because it set a new precedence for where we're going to be as a platform. I'm going to show you some of my favorite launches before we hear some amazing talks from some of the folks who worked so hard on this. We have our beautiful new theme system, Horizon, our next-gen dev platform. We also have huge updates on Sidekick. We have MCP tools for storefronts and customer accounts. We have storefront web components, markets, assistants built for Shopify, retail completely redesigned. We have a bunch of launches. In total, it was over 170. And every 6 months, we love celebrating everything that we worked so hard on with all of you. So I'm going to give you a bit of deep dive on each of these, starting with Sidekick. Who has played with Sidekick lately? Okay, I cannot see anything because the lights are so bright, but I was hoping that a lot of you have played with Sidekick since the beginning of the year. If you haven't, go try it. In March, we shipped a brand new architecture to Sidekick. It's gotten a lot smarter. It's able to do a lot more complex tasks. Merchants are starting to use it not just for helping them create products, helping them create collections, but actually helping them understand how their business is doing and what they should be doing as their next step. And we're super excited about where this is going to go. On top of just it getting smarter, we've shipped a bunch of new tools for Sidekick. Sidekick can now speak in 20 languages. It can see your screen. It can do image generation. It can create files. And it can even understand file references. So you can attach a bunch of new modalities to Sidekick. And we're not going to stop here. Sidekick is going to get a lot better, a lot faster in 2025. And one of the things that we want to do is bring you along on this journey with us. Sidekick is going to change the way that merchants use the admin of Shopify. And we want to make sure that it works with all of the hard work of this partner ecosystem. So come talk to us later on today about how your integrations, your apps can work with Sidekick. OK, speaking of agents, we also released our storefront and customer MCPs. It's gotten a lot of love in the last week. We've done some really cool demos on what people have built. MCP just makes life so much easier when you're building agents and wanting to ground that data in something that merchants actually have in their stores. Now it's super simple to build a shopping agent that can search the store's products, understand collections, create a cart, and check out. Come build something with us today. Show us. We love to see the creativity here. All right. Speaking of building consumer shopping experiences, we also announced Shopify Catalog. And this is just a tip of the iceberg of something we're doing at Shopify. Traditionally, Shopify is just about a particular shop. But Shopify Catalog spans the entire catalog of Shopify merchants. So if you're building new discovery interfaces, let's say for products and consumers, we want to work with you and make sure and empower you with tools to do that. Shopify Catalog is the first API that we've released that spans all of the products across our millions of merchants. If you're interested in building apps that help this discovery, come talk to us. This is not something that's just out there today, so we want to talk to you all, understand what you want to build, and we want to support that. The other new tool in your toolbox is Storefront Web Components. You can now add commerce to any site, not have to worry about variants or product media or figuring out a server. You literally just add a few lines of code, and you can build a commerce experience. You can style it any way you want. It's super easy to do. Toby actually took this and then rebuilt Snow Devil in a couple hours. And it's super, super flexible. This is what we mean when we mean building efficiently. So we're super excited about what this is going to mean. If you're building anything from, let's say, adding commerce to a particular blog, or if you are adding commerce to an agent, all the way to building a full-fledged commerce site, you can do it all with Storefront Web Components. We like to say internally, if it's on the web, you can add commerce to it using Storefront Web Components. OK, let's take a deeper look behind the scenes on something a little bit different. Still consumer-facing, but a little bit more core to Shopify. Markets. We talked about markets like, what, a year ago or so. But now it is launching across all of our merchant base. Now is the time for you to start getting serious and understanding how markets is going to fundamentally change our platform. This is one of those times in our platform where we add this foundational layer of new infrastructure, and it changes how Shopify works. Markets is one of those times. Now, you can create sub-markets for your French merchants who are different from the rest of your European market. We have the ability to support multiple entities. So if you are working with multinationals, you can actually support their business from one store. You can also create multiple B2B markets. You can sell wholesale to multiple countries now using a single shop. Markets creates the foundations of customization and personalization inside of Shopify. And we've been talking about it for a long time because, honestly, we wanted to make sure you guys were ready for it. But now is the time that we're rolling it out. The world of commerce is getting more complex. Our merchants' lives are getting more complex. This is how we're going to try and meet them where they need to be. And before, you had to choose between either having everything all in one shop and maybe having to manage things a little bit differently, not being able to personalize and localize as much, or having to pick from tons of expansion stores and then managing all of the data across all of those stores. Now you don't have to choose. With markets, we want to be able to encapsulate all of that complexity in one store. This is going to be one of those moments that we're going to look back a year from now and think, how did we do it without markets? OK. Something for all of the app developers in the room. Can I hear it from the app developers in the room? Woo, OK. Built for Shopify. We talked about this 2 years ago. We haven't forgotten about it. OK, Built for Shopify is our program to help make sure merchants get the best app experience possible. And we want to reward and acknowledge the amount of work that you guys do to make that happen. So first, if you haven't already built a BFS app, if you do today, you'll be fast-tracked through the app review process. Also, we now introduce the ability for BFS apps to not just be able to bid on ads on search results, but also be able to bid for ads on catalog pages and the home page of the App Store. We want to recognize the work that you guys put in here. But we also took a hard look at how much work this really takes. We know we had a lot of requirements. But we took those 104 requirements, we trimmed all the fat, and we brought it back down to 19. So now there's only 19 requirements, the core set of things that we think is really important for app quality to get BFS. This is going to become a much easier program to be a part of. OK, now I'm done talking. They were like, Vanessa, you're going to go out, you're going to, woo, race car video. And I took 10 minutes. But I want to introduce you guys to some of my friends who have been working hard behind the scenes on building everything in the platform over the last 6 months. And we're going to start by taking a deep dive on Horizon. I want to welcome to the stage my friend Kevin Clark, Director of UX, to talk about Horizon.
Hi, everyone. At Shopify, we're always looking for ways to improve our theme platform so we can help you make merchants more successful. And every few years, we think it's important for us to come out with a brand new first-party theme that raises the bar and represents our vision for how all of our platform features should come to life. And then we get to watch this incredible community take these features and ideas and take them to the next level with your creativity. Well, this edition is one of these moments. A year ago, we announced theme blocks, a transformative change for themes, and many people have been asking, when are you going to support this in Dawn? Well, we decided to take it a step further, and we've been hard at work designing and building Horizon, an entirely new theme foundation. We had 3 goals in mind when it came to creating Horizon. First, we wanted to have the best buyer experience in the world. We wanted to give merchants more flexibility than ever to bring their vision to life. And then third, we wanted to make it easier to edit than Dawn. Our first release includes 10 beautifully designed presets. They are made for different industries, styles, and catalog size. They each come with a ton of engaging storytelling sections to really show off your merchant's products and match whatever aesthetic they're going for. We've really sweat the details on the buying flow and made sure that we've leveled up every part of the experience. For example, we created interactive product cards that let buyers browse through images and add to cart right from the collection page. We've also leveraged view transitions and animations throughout the site to make the experience feel as smooth and fast as possible. Our new mega menu automatically pulls in collections and products to help buyers find what they're looking for quickly. And we've added, for the first time ever, the ability for buyers to add discount right from their cart without having to go to checkout. Yeah, this is going to be huge. There are so many more features in Horizon, and I thought, you know what? The best way to experience it is to see how easy it is to customize. And that's convenient because before coming on stage, my friend Vanessa just told me about her brand new business idea. You see, after her experience on the racetrack with Toby, she decided to go all in and open a new store to sell racing gear. So let me show you how easy it is to bring her vision to life in Horizon. All right, okay, so for this project, I decided to start with Pitch. It's originally made for skincare, but I think it's gonna work great for our needs. As soon as you open Horizon, you'll notice that this theme is really made for theme blocks. And what I like about this is that it gives me a lot of flexibility to be able to customize the site just how I want it. And one of the places that's particularly great for is things like product cards. So for example, if I want to add swatches or I want to add reviews, I can do that, and I have a lot of control over how they show up. So let me go ahead and do this. And here you can see our new block picker. It has categories for easy wayfinding and also visual previews. So no more guessing, trying to see which section or block you're adding. You get a preview right there. And then I can search for swatches. Let me add that. OK, perfect. And then maybe I said I wanted to add some reviews. Let me throw in some reviews. And now that I'm looking at this, I don't think this layout looks particularly great. I feel like the reviews should be higher up here. And so now I can just drag them around, and then maybe I make a few changes. That looks a lot better. OK, great. Another change that we've made to the editor is we've made it easier to make text modifications. Now, all you got to do is click on the block that you want to edit, and the text field is automatically pre-selected for you. So all you got to do is just keep typing and make your text changes. So let me write something here. Move fast and buy things. And then for people who like to drive fast and ship faster. That sounds like Vanessa. OK, let me make a couple more content changes to add in some of our images. Right. Here I have a meta object that I've created ahead of time with some content. Let me connect that up. This image sounds perfect. And for this, I'll add a little note from our founder. So let me connect that up. OK, almost there. And let me pick this photo. How great does Vanessa look in this jacket? OK, perfect. Now we have all of our content in. And I'm having a look at the site. And I feel like something's sticking out for me. This color scheme really just isn't working for our brand. I think the orange and pink are just clashing with the rest of our products. So let me go in and make a few color scheme changes. So I'll go in. I'll paste our brand color in here, a nice dark navy, and then adjust some of the text. And one of the things that some of you might have spotted is that for the first time ever, we have opacity sliders in our color picker. So that's super convenient when you're designing. OK, that's looking good. Now I need to replace these color schemes over here. Let me change this and change that over here. OK, now that's feeling a lot better. OK. Now that I'm looking at the top section of my site, I feel like it's a little bland. I feel like we need something a little bit darker, a bit punchier. So let me make more changes here. Let me update this scheme to something darker. Yeah, that looks a lot better. OK, update the header too. And then let me do something I should have done from the beginning, which is select our logo. Boom, there you have it. OK, I think this looks really good. One other feature I want to show you is something that I've heard some of you on the community ask about, and it's something that I've also wanted, and that is the ability to rename sections and blocks. Because the more you have sections and the more you have blocks, it can sometimes get hard to find them. And so here you can see I have a media with text section, and all I have to do is click over here and then rename it. OK, and as I'm looking at this section, I think this section is so great. It's so fun. I think we should also have it on our product detail page. Before, what I would have to do is I would have to remember what this section looks like, and then go to the product page and have to recreate it all from scratch. I'm sure some of you have experienced this before. Now, all you got to do is right-click, click copy, make your way over to a product detail page, and then paste it. As easy as that. Change the color scheme. Yeah, copy and paste, finally coming to the editor. While I'm here, there's also another great feature that I'm really excited about that I want to show you. It's called conditional settings. We know that our merchants are constantly asking for more customization and more creative freedom when they're editing their site. And that can sometimes come at a cost of having a lot of settings. And so this feature allows you as a theme developer to decide when certain settings should be visible and when they should be hidden. So this allows you to have an easy-to-use theme while still exposing some more advanced controls to merchants when they need it. And we make great use of that throughout Horizon, and in particular on things like product descriptions and our text blocks. In these themes, you will see there's a typography preset. And these are great for giving people like a quick typography preset that they can change to and they can play with. But sometimes you're just not getting the right look and feel that you're looking for. And so in those cases, you can simply click over to Custom, and that reveals a whole host of settings and dials for people to tweak. And so here I can just make the change that I want to make, and there you have it. That looks great. OK, perfect. let me go back to our home page now that our product page is settled. And as I'm having another look here, I think our home page is really missing something. It's missing that special section that's going to make people go, wow, this looks great. So let me go in here and add a new section. And what I have in mind is really this interactive experience with product cards that are floating in the air, and maybe users can move them around if they want. Like, I think something really interactive like that would be fun. But if I go into my block picker, while there's a lot of stuff here, that specific block doesn't exist in the theme. And it's for moments like this that we've created the new generate feature. The way it works is I can just go and describe my idea in here and let Sidekick build it for me. And with this, your creativity is the only limitation. So let me type in my prompt. I want a section with floating product cards. Oops. They should rotate while they float in the air. Users should be able to drag them around. And let me select which products to use with a collection setting. Okay, that sounds good. And what's great about this is you can be as detailed or as brief as you want to. It's really, you're in control. Once I hit send, Sidekick will have a look at my prompt, will analyze what I wrote, and start to get to work on writing this code. This can sometimes take a little while, so this is all happening live, so we'll get to experience what our result is together. But if you're like me, I always like to sit here and watch it do all this work for me. It's so impressive how Sidekick, literally overnight, became an expert at writing Liquid. And not only Liquid, it also writes great CSS and JavaScript. And frankly, as I'm looking at the code it's writing, I know I could never write this much JavaScript code in that amount of time. One of my favorite things about this, too, is that Sidekick not only writes the front-end code to generate the block, but also thinks of useful settings to put in there for me. All right, this is looking pretty close to what I had in mind. Let me pick my collection. And so it's highly customizable. I can tweak it, I can change some of the colors, and really make it look like my own. All right, let's have a look. I think this is looking pretty great. In about, 10 minutes time, we're able to go from a brand new preset into customizing it and making it our own. Horizon is in the theme store right now, and we have tons more sessions later today on how we're evolving the theme platform. We think you're going to love this, but we can't wait to see what you do with it. All right, thank you so much.
Give it up for Eitan Seidman and Terrence Torella.
All right. Good morning, Editions.dev. It is great to be here today to share with you all the work that we've been doing to help make our developer ecosystem even more successful. Today, we're going to dive into our next-gen dev platform. Our goal is simple. We want to enable you all to build high-quality apps faster with less code and less overhead. And we're doing that by taking on more complexity ourselves, so you all can focus on the unique value that merchants demand. Now, we know it hasn't always been easy to do that, right? I've gotten a lot of feedback from you all over the months and quarters about friction in accomplishing that. But today, we're really excited about the state of our platform. It features a local development experience that is fast and allows you to fully preview apps without deploying them. Dev stores that mimic actual production plans, including Plus. Declarative custom data that's going to cut back dramatically on how much code you have to write. A set of unified and beautiful UI components that work seamlessly and consistently across Shopify surfaces. And our Dev MCP server is going to help you learn in your coding environment. Now, rather than telling you about all that, we're going to show it to you live. So we're going to do a live demo building an app, Terrence and I. Terrence, where are we at with this app that we've been working on?
Yeah, so I've created an app using the CLI, and before we test it out, I'm going to create a new dev store. So I'm here in our new dev dashboard, and I can create a dev store right here, and I can select any plan I want. So if we have features that require Plus things to test out, I can create a Plus store, I can add my test data, and it's available for everybody now.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love that we're democratizing access to Plus. Like no more secret handshakes, you have to be part of a certain partner program. Anybody that needs to access Plus to test on it is going to be able to have it.
Yeah, that's right. So now that I have my dev store, I'm going to run app dev. And you'll notice that we're using localhost, so skipping right through tunnels and getting right into my dev store directly from my laptop. Into my new dev store, we've got our dev console, some great wayfinding, so I know I'm in a dev store, not a production store.
Nice. That's really slick. Yeah, I mean, I've been using this a bunch personally, all the localhost features. And it's really great because, first of all, it's faster. There's no tunnels. But also, it's more resilient, right? Because, imagine I close my laptop, I go get dinner, and then I come back. Before, our tunnel had to start up, dev session had to restart. Now, you can just open your laptop again, and dev is still running.
Yeah, that persistence is nice. And what's also great is we can do more hot reloading. So I'm doing my demo. I want to create a sample product, and I've made just a bonehead mistake that nobody would make on stage, but it happens. And so I've forgotten an access scope. So previously, I'm coming back, I'm having to add it in, I'm having to save it, and then deploy it, and then commit and grant my access scopes. But now, when I save it, we're detecting that the access scopes have changed, and we're automatically granting them. So when I come back in and create my product again, it just works.
Beautiful. All right, so faster dev loops, better testing, more slick dev stores. That's all great. Let's transition to data persistence, right? So we're building this app that is going to do discounts. We've all built a bunch of these apps. We're going to basically help merchants do volume discounts, right? If I buy a certain quantity, then I get a certain amount off. So a whole bunch of data is going to have to be stored, all the state about the discount itself and other merchant state. Now, I could, of course, reach for a third-party database, or I could also try my hand at metafields and meta objects for storage. But metafields and meta objects have their own challenges, right? Because I have to, on every install, I have to kind of define a schema. If I change the schema, I have to run, offline jobs to get every shop in sync. So what are we doing to help developers with that?
So we've dramatically simplified that. Now, I can declare all my meta objects and metafields right in my app's toml. So I'm going to paste in some definitions. You can see I can create a meta object. I can define some fields for that object. I specify the data types. I can specify access levels. I can even put in simple validations like minimums and maximums. And again, when I save this, it's going right to my dev store. So I don't need to do all of the hooks, all the API calls. They just show up. And what's even better is when I deploy this app, all the stores that have my app installed, they're automatically getting all of the meta object definitions. Shopify's taking care of that for me.
That's awesome. That's really slick. And so we've got the data stores that we're going to need there for our discount app. Cool. It's going to cut back dramatically on the amount of code that folks have to write. So the next thing that we're going to need is a user interface, right? Merchants are going to be able to save the information that they want for the discount scenario. One of the biggest challenges I've heard at my time at Shopify is that it feels like our component set is built by many different teams, right? So I might start, building an embedded app using Polaris React. I have a certain set of components. Then I'm ordered to build a checkout UI extension. And for the exact same concept, the components and props are different. And so there's all this mental overhead of learning all the different component sets that are across our ecosystem.
Yeah, that can be a challenge. So we're very excited to have launched Polaris Web Components to unify the UI components that I use across those surfaces. So in our app, we have an embedded experience, and it's using those new components. You can notice the S- in all of my blocks. And now if I want to take these and move them from my embedded experience into an admin block into a checkout UI extension. I don't have to rewrite them. I don't have to learn a different set of props, a different experience. I can just reuse what I've learned from my embedded experience and bring it to those other experiences across Shopify.
That's awesome. So all those S- components I can use across other services.
Exactly.
Very cool. OK, so we have just showed folks quite a bit of stuff, right? Re-engineered DX, declarative custom data, a brand new set of unified UI components that are going to work across our surfaces. I think folks are probably thinking like this is going to be a lot to learn, right? A lot of new stuff that's coming out. What are we doing to help accelerate learning? How are we going to make this easier for folks?
Yeah, it's a great question because there is a lot. And of course, it's 2025, so the answer has to be something AI. And so we're going to take a look at using Claude connected to the new Shopify Dev MCP. So a lot of the functionality that used to be available in the Dev Assistant, and with new functionality like Polaris, like functions, I can now connect to it directly from my tools of choice, which in this case is Cursor. So as we watch Claude do its thing, and we'll see if he gets it right this time. He doesn't always. We wanted to recognize that we have these meta fields. Then it should be updating our input query, and then using that in the function to determine what the level of the discount should be. So, so far, so good. It seems to have figured out that we have a function, and it's going to take a look at our input query.
Got it. So right now, it's basically going to use our meta field as input, take the data from there, and then volume discount based on that is what we're looking for.
Exactly. So off to a good start. It's gotten this right, so we'll accept that.
It's all live, by the way.
And then next should be updating the function. So after it updates the function, we'll hop into the online store and see if it worked. Off to a pretty good start. It's doing its thing. All right. So we'll accept this. And now let's take a look. So we've got, yep, 5. Should get us a 5% discount. Into the online store. We've got our snowboards. Right now we're at 4. Increase it to 5. Boom, it worked.
Wow. That was awesome. I hope what we just showed you gives you a glimpse of the power and capability of this platform. Right? Our DX is faster. Declarative custom data is going to cut down dramatically on how much code you have to write and allow you to use Shopify for app storage. Our unified UI components is going to help make building experiences faster. And our Dev Assistant, as you just saw at MCP server, can help generate code for you. We think it's our best dev platform ever, and we're really excited to see what you all build with it. So come join us at the roundtables, booths, master classes. Everybody here is opted into the early access and can start playing with it today. So really excited to see what folks do with it. Next up, you're going to hear about some of the future things that we're working on. Thanks, everybody, for your time.
Give it up for Jose Torra.
Good morning. So I'm very excited today to give you a sneak peek of something that we're working on that will be available to you towards the end of the year. We're calling it Admin Intents, and this will allow you to enable merchants to stay on task no matter where they are in the admin. So currently, anytime you want to edit a resource or a different workflow, you're fully taken away from that page. For instance, this example here, if I want to check a customer that made an order, I'm going to that page. And that's actually one of the reasons that we introduced this dynamic back button that allows merchants to go back in a seamless way. And in some cases, we actually duplicated resources in multiple places to try to enable these seamless workflows, like this example where we created this customer create model that is just code that we duplicated just to make the flow of adding a customer to an order smoother. But this is far from being ideal because it creates some toil. Now, let me show you a simple example within an app so you can get a better idea what this means for you. So imagine you're making changes to your online store and you decide to change, or you need to add a menu. In the past, we actually made merchants open a new tab and do this as a side task, as you see in this example. And then merchants had to figure out how to go back, close the tab, and then sometimes they even had to reload the page. So quite a bit of friction, and we really don't want that. So now with intents, the experience will be like this. So without opening new tabs, you can do what you need in context, same creation flow, but much less friction and no code duplication. And once you're done, you can resume your workflow without having to wonder how to go back, refresh the page, and so on. And the best part is that this is a pattern that can be leveraged anywhere in the admin experience with a single line of code. The other cool thing is that you can stack these intents and kind of string workflows together. So for example, here I'm creating an email campaign and I decide I want to create a new discount, so I can do that in context just with intents, as I said. And now imagine that you want to create a collection that applies to that discount. So you can do that in Stack. So you create your collection, you save it, and then you go back to your discount, you save it, and then you're back on task. So we're kind of making sure that merchants stay on task and focus on their workflow, instead of trying to manage a bunch of different tabs. Now, if you're wondering why I'm telling you this or giving you this sneak peek, there's basically these 3 reasons. The first one is that you can call an admin intent and help merchants stay in the flow rather than being forced into the admin. So in your app, you can do that. Then we'll soon support app intents, so you can actually inject helpful functionality into merchants' workflows right within the admin. And then third, with app intents, you also make your features accessible to Sidekick, allowing merchants to engage with your app with very minimal effort. All this so merchants can stay in the flow and at the end of the day have less tabs to manage and more tasks completed. We made our API extremely simple with this single line of code. And as you probably can already guess, this is a significant evolution in app extensibility, building on the foundations of app blocks and app actions, enabling you to insert your app functionality directly onto merchants' workflows. Or you can also think about integrating pieces from our ecosystem in your app. So my ask to you is please start thinking about the most useful piece of your app functionality or workflows that could make sense to expose as an intent to the rest of the ecosystem. We're rolling this out in core workflows first, with developer access at the end of the year. Thank you.
Please welcome Ray Reddy.
Good morning, everyone. It's wonderful to see so many partners here today. For those of you who don't know my background, I joined Shopify this year, but I've spent my entire career in local commerce. It's a space that I care deeply about. And as we've heard today, Shopify continues to revolutionize online commerce. But the majority of commerce still happens in physical stores. We see many of the fastest growing brands, from Gymshark to Parachute, rely on physical retail for their competitive advantage. And they are all choosing Shopify POS to power their business. So today, I want to share how Shopify is doubling down and investing to make it easier and more capable for you to build the future of retail. Now, some of you might be skeptical, and it would be fair, because over the years, Shopify POS has had limited APIs and components. but we've made big investments in the retail platform over just the last year. We've increased APIs, including our brand new print API that allows your extensions to print using the native print dialog. We've dramatically increased targets that now includes receipts, product, customer, and order details, as well as new event targets, which can observe updates in the cart. And finally, we've added new components, including essentials like box, print preview, and POS receipt block. This is a huge expansion of the platform's power, opening up so many new ways for you to build powerful retail solutions. Now, some of you might be wondering, OK, so what can I actually build? So let's look at 4 ways that Villa is gaining an edge by using what's now possible on Shopify's retail platform. First, loyalty. Villa launched a beautiful loyalty app that cleverly uses direct access APIs combined with customer meta fields. This gives them a simple, serverless solution to identify and reward their best customers right at the point of sale. After every checkout, Villa uses an integrated survey app to get customer insights. This app attaches a meta field to the order, recording where the customer heard about them. This simple addition is helping the marketing team fine-tune their strategy and spend smarter. And then there's in-store shipping. We see many mid-market brands ship e-commerce orders directly from their store stock. Now they use the print API to print personalized thank you notes and offers instantly right from the POS. No more switching systems. And finally, for targeted promotions, Villa ran a grand opening sale for their newest store with a location-specific discount. They were able to easily set this up using Shopify Function's new retail location inputs, ensuring that promotions are precisely targeted and hit the mark. The key takeaway here is that Villa is doing all of this now with tools that are available to all of you. This isn't some far-off future. It's the expanded platform allows just for more integrated, more powerful, and easier-to-use solutions for merchants today. Now, expanding the platform's power is one thing, but making it easy for you to harness that power is just as important. So what's new to help you build more efficiently? Well, to get you started faster, we're rolling out 5 new CLI scaffolding options specifically for retail extensions. This means less setup so you can ship faster. Retail's direct API access, which just launched, is a game changer. It allows your apps to interact with the Shopify platform directly, making calls fast and with automatic authentication. This means more power and flexibility and, of course, seamless integrations. And our documentation has been updated with great examples. And we're not slowing down. Soon, you'll be able to store key value pairs directly in your extension using local storage. This will unlock a world of possibilities for richer, more persistent retail experiences, all running smoothly on device. And later this year, Retail and Polaris will share underlying UI components, making building for retail feel even more familiar. And the bonus is your favorite AI code editor will get much better at building for POS. So just zooming out, what does this all mean? The platform expansions and the new tools. They're more than just updates. They're signaling a fundamental shift in how we're approaching retail at Shopify. We are transforming retail from a product to a platform. We have 2 retail sessions this afternoon where you can dive deeper or visit the point-of-sale booth on the show floor to see all of the tools in action. I'll end by saying this. This is a massive opportunity for developers. The retail landscape is vast, and merchant needs are incredibly diverse. The potential for you to create value, build successful apps, and shape the future of in-person commerce alongside us is immense. And I say that with no exaggeration. So I hope my message today comes through. Shopify POS is evolving into an open platform, and we want you to build with us. Thank you.
Welcome to the stage, Andrew Evershed.
Picture this. You're a large fashion retailer gearing up to launch a big summer collection. You've got hundreds of new products, content, and updates coming soon across your store, all timed to go live together. But today, it's messy as hell and feels riskier than it should. You're juggling CSVs, hitting API limits, and coordinating changes to products, themes, and pages, all directly in production with a dozen teammates and no safety net. Even with world-class ERPs and third-party tools, it's still a fragile dance to get everything timed together at once. Then launch day hits. It's you, a terminal window, 3 tabs, and a silent prayer, nothing 500s. We've all been there. Now imagine spinning up a staging environment, a perfect replica of your store in minutes, not days. Where data flows fast and securely within Shopify and across your ERPs, PIMs, and external systems. Where you can edit, test, and review with your team confidently, not cautiously. Where you push to production on Monday, test end-to-end, and go live atomically on Tuesday, all timed to roll out on your schedule in Shopify. That's the future we're building. Smarter staging, seamless deployment, and total control. And it starts here. I'm excited about this. How about all of you? We've built a foundational layer that moves store data in minutes, not hours, in, out, and across Shopify environments. Built on top of our admin API, this layer flattens your store into a single SQLite file, compact, structured, and developer-friendly. Think of it as one command to copy your store, one SQLite file to work across systems, and one foundation to make staging real. With this, you can spin up dev stores faster, clone environments with ease, and deploy with confidence. Let's go back to that retailer preparing for a summer collection launch to see how this will look in action in the coming weeks. I'm helping them update a bunch of product descriptions and want to stage everything before it goes live. Here's how simple this process becomes with the new bulk data management CLI commands. I'll start by exporting the products we're going to update. I'll run the Shopify store export command, and in just a few seconds, I'll get a complete snapshot structured cleanly into a single SQLite file. You can imagine if I were to do this for hundreds or even thousands of products, I just saved a ton of time. Now that I have the portable snapshot, I can easily inspect it or make updates in the file directly. Next, I'll simply run Shopify store import command, and all the data imports into my staging store. Now my team can safely test storefront visuals, QA any content updates, and ensure the data behaves exactly as expected, all before anything goes live. And once I'm ready to go live, I just run the Shopify store copy command from my staging store to my production store, and all the approved changes move immediately. This is how we start to move from fragile, manual edits to predictable, repeatable changes. With these new CLI commands, you can move data between environments quickly and reliably, build better dev and staging workflows, and start preparing for a world where staging is the norm, not the exception. We're starting with products and meta fields, and in 2025, we'll rapidly expand support for collections, catalogs, content, and much more. Now let's say I want to do something really tedious, like update all my product titles and descriptions to be more SEO friendly, weave in some limited edition summer collection messaging, and generate alt tags for all my product images. This is where the power of AI comes in. I'll export my store and hand off to Claude to read my snapshot file, then update everything automatically. No manual edits, no custom scripts. Just clean, structured changes in a format LLMs understand natively. Next, I just ask Claude to import the updated file, and just like that, SEO handled. This is real commerce work accelerated by AI. What you saw today is just the beginning. We're making it faster to launch, safer to test, and easier to scale, whether you're running one store or 100. Next year, you'll be able to preview changes, schedule them for release, and roll out atomically, all within Shopify, turning new season launches into clockwork, not chaos. If you're building complex storefronts as a dev, an agency, or even as a merchant, keep your eyes out. The beta opens in just a few weeks. To any of you that want to learn more, come talk to us at the DevTools booth later today. Thanks for watching.